Next door to their classroom is the New Media Theater and its lobby. Here is what it sounds like a few hours before the final presentations. Experience with art or a particular technology is not required. The dedication to come in each week and make yourself open to new ideas, however, is.
And we're at the First Fridays.
Why am I here tonight? Because it's First Friday. It's a really nice way to spend a Friday evening, and I brought my friends.
Her work made me wonder what each photographer's purpose is and what purpose they want each picture to serve.
Have you ever wondered how an exhibition comes together? Who comes and what do they think of it?
There are a lot of people who wouldn't go to the arts, and normally they wouldn't do such a thing. Because it's social, they get to see what is really there and appreciate it, and that's very important. And then some people might become members. Some people might go and see other art galleries and expose themselves further, so that's cool.
Coming to these type of parties for me is very interesting because they have both music and art.
I wanted to meet fun people and get a look at the museum.
It's always kind of fun to walk through a museum when you get a little special treatment.
I think it's a good way just to get to see things out of context.
I want to come hang out here. I want to see art, and they're really opening the doors as to what is intriguing. You know, after a Friday, this is a very nice way to unwind. And it's quite a shift of paradigm coming into such a nice place, so it brings all the best in the same venue at the same time.
How does an individual recognize quality in a work of art? What makes a work of art important or famous? And in the first cycle, we relied on curators. The second year, we reached out to critics. And what's fascinating now is that we're going to have artists speak on this subject.
My name is Hiroshi Sugimoto. I'm an artist, but at the same time, I am a collector.
I'm Jeff Koons. You know, I don't know if an artist does look at something or judges a work in a different manner than the general public or, the critic, collector, curator. But, I know as an artist, right away you want to look at an artwork and look at the different levels of meaning that it can have, and how that piece functions within the history of art and within human history.
You have to buy to scale up your quality of your eye, how to see things. It's very different from looking at the museum shows through the glass window. Once you own it, and especially you make some mistakes, that's quite an education. And then also I place my art next to the object I bought, which I fell in love with. So, for example, like a 12th century painting that I'm very admired of, then I just hung it in my wall, and then I place my own newly produced photographs next together. Then I can judge whether my own art can stand out even with this competitive quality of 12th century Japanese painting. And then if I fail, then I just don't show my piece. So this is my testing field, my testing device, testing method.
As an artist, whenever you're looking at another artwork created by someone else, you have to be open to life experiences that may not be exactly the same that you've shared. The cultural history can be different. But at the same time, the amazing thing about art is it's a vehicle which lets you accept yourself. And when you accept yourself, you're able to start opening yourself up to the environment around you and eventually to others.
How I came to be a gallery guide? Well, I read the posting. It sounded like It sounded like a perfect job, actually. Get to stand around and talk with people about art all day. What could be better?
We would be in the galleries as kind of a mobile resource, and people can feel free to come up and ask us questions about the artwork.
We thought, wouldn't it be great to have real live educators in the galleries to talk with visitors about this work in person?
Gallery guides are the full-time and some are part-time people who stand in the galleries all day long. They're artists, they're art historians, and they are there available for people to ask them anything they want about the works of art.
With their knowledge of art and history, the gallery guides help visitors develop their own perceptions and understanding of art through conversational exchange.
And I always tell people, stay, you're about to leave the painting, stay 5 seconds longer. You'll notice something that you hadn't noticed before.
I need some eyes and ears inside the galleries, and we can't afford to have guides and guards, so we have a meld of the two. And so we have people doing an impossible job talking about art while they protect it. I've heard good things from visitors and other staff members, but I've also observed this in some of our cameras. I watch in fast motion, and you can see our gallery guides skirting across the galleries to talk and to find visitors to talk to and respond to the questions, where a traditional guard guards. So they're very interactive and I think a very good asset.
So, the sort of prime example we always give, and all the gallery guides are really aware of this, is, somebody's about to touch something, and the gallery guide must go up and first and foremost kind of stop them very graciously, but then they ask, so why are you interested in touching that?
I literally just want their eyes and ears, and they call for somebody like myself to go out and take care of business.
Security is their primary responsibility.
I think the gallery guides are certainly more approachable. They're not so authoritative. And visitors feel comfortable going up to them and asking them whether it's about the exhibition or even just discussing art or the building, and they can talk about anything.
I've had to shoo out my guides along with the visitors because they both want to just stay in the gallery and just talk. They just want to talk. And so when a visitor and a guide connect, it's a great thing to see.
There was a huge group in the galleries, and she was effectively just doing security. Security is their primary responsibility.
The artists that paint here, they always have a specific touch on the painting.
Our focus today is going to be on our first application of color. Revisit the meaning behind your work.
That sort of represents the animals vanishing, because when maybe in the movies something vanishes, then you see a whirlwind where it used to be. Just the fact of someone wondering about your what you made and sort of asking themselves, it feels kind of good. Knowing that you're different than others in a sort of unique way, and I kind of like it. I'm trying to, as I mentioned before in our discussion, use colors to express feelings.
In the end, you see that this is coming from the kids. They have ownership over it, and they can talk about it, and nobody has handed them the idea or handed them anything. It's theirs. So these teachers, they were interested in getting their students to really acknowledge that they have a voice. They have ideas about the world and the way the world operates, and so to give the students the opportunity to voice those opinions.
The kids would respond to these works. It's such a great experience.
So we came up with this idea of how do artists and writers and poets change, impact, or affect the world.
We talk with 5th grade teacher Maureen Wolf just outside the classroom.
I think it's so important for them to know about world issues. And this is a vehicle for me to enjoy it, and they almost embrace their topics.
Kids can do their own artworks. We spend quite a bit of time in the galleries having in-depth discussions about works that are on view.
It's exciting. It makes it feel more official.
It's always about trying to get them to look, and then hopefully a conversation will progress from that. All you really need is just your reaction, your eyes.
Here is what it sounds like when family, friends, and some of the Guggenheim staff gather for the event.
In the
lot of it is about initiating the conversations, especially I love the works where you can really kind of pull people in. And I just love the process of, well, one, I love the initial reaction that people would have to it, which was usually some form of skepticism. And I love the process of kind of taking them into that space and really getting them to engage it on that level.
Thinking about new ways to talk about them, but also getting inspiration. And then the conversations can be incredibly inspiring.
Students can share what they have learned over the course of the semester and tie that into their personal interests as artists, in this case as digital photographers.
Which I've found it really spoils you to stand around art all day long, because now when I go to other museums, I feel like if I don't get hours and hours on end with a painting, how am I really going to know it?
Let's listen to some of their presentations.
So, where's the hard one? That's him there, isn't it? Irish fella. They don't have him. Don't make the Irish guy.
Before you leave this space, locate the security camera in one of the top corners of the room. Walk towards the camera, smile like a Hollywood starlet who's just had $64,000 worth of dental work, and wave.
Do the art, and then from there you can start a conversation. I guess you always try to be honest about what you don't know. I mean, that there's a big no-no in this job. It's just making stuff up.
Yeah, but at the same, people will come up and they'll say, "Oh, so you're an expert on this," and you have to say, "I would hardly call myself that." I don't know. I like it when people they assume that we're art students, and I say, "No, I'm out of school and I'm a student of art and I'm here trying to learn things, just like you."
And then there's just the education of actually being in the galleries, observing the art and talking about the art with people, which is honestly the best education I've ever had in terms of art.
They took their own photos and used Photoshop to digitally adjust and alter their work.
All the photos here I've altered the color of. I boosted the colors to make the pictures pop off the page and also to give it an unnatural feel.
It's for 20-something. And now he's just like, it's like, you can't look right here. He said he's going to go try to talk to them again. They said they can't change it. I think we need it. I don't know. Like, none of us answer you. Yeah. Maybe we can, I don't know, maybe... That's why I say call your parents. Maybe it's recording all of this.
Hello, and welcome back to the guide. You'll get the most pleasure from the next section.
Sure is something to see, some place to go, but it's no place to be. And there's two things keeping me going round the bend. I got my music, and this here dog for a friend. My fingers, and I'm wetting my lips. Got a can of extra strong in the bag of chicken and chips. If I had a little money, I'd get a few things, like a bottle of vodka and yeah, I guess I'd die on top of this hill. I'm no tourist attraction, but I'll give him a chance.
It was just great. I'm really very pleased